Welcome to the Walk Empower podcast, where I believe confidence is your superpower. I am your host, Carmen B., founder of Healthy Energy Actively Living, also known as HEAL, and creator of the Manifesting Love Journey, a transformational course designed to help busy women like you who struggle with balance learn how to practice self-care daily while building the life you desire and deserve. Listen, no one should have to choose between their health and success because you deserve both. My mission here is to inspire you to own your power to make your wellness a priority while crushing your goals with grace. I'll be inviting some amazing inspirational guests who will share their journey to wellness and offer tips for your toolbox. My hope is that every episode leaves you better than you came and you would gracefully share your experience with someone else. If you're ready to prioritize your wellness, build unstoppable confidence, and crush your goals, then you're in the right place. And I'm so happy you decided to join me here today. Without further ado, let's dive in. Wellness has been a top topic. That sounds like a tongue twister. Top topic. All right, I challenge you to say top topic 10 times straight without getting tongue twisted. Let me see if I can. Top topic. I cannot. All right, there's your challenge for this week. So, I digress. I'm coming back. So wellness has been a top topic since the beginning of the pandemic, and rightfully so. Many people struggled to maintain the balance required to make their wellness a priority for many reasons, right? It could have been because you began homeschooling one or more children. I know that was a real struggle for me. Homeschooling? Oh my goodness. I never want to do that again. And can I tell you that prior to the pandemic, it was something that I thought about. Being a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling my son, the pandemic showed me, no, honey, that is not something that I am interested in. All right, so it could be homeschooling, working from home, and just dealing with the fear and the uncertainty of all the things that's happening in our world, in our communities, and around us. All of these things can completely throw you off. However, we are at a place now where we're moving pretty much into year 2, right? Pandemic started in the beginning of 2020. We are now coming to the end of 2021, rolling into 22, which is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And at this point, I believe it is so important that we make it a priority to resume balance or find balance in order to make our wellness a priority. Yet, some people are still struggling, right? So, like I said, it's been almost 2 years. And 2 years, yes, I understand that there are still challenges. There is still a lot of uncertainty in our world and in our communities. However, you are a priority. And so we have to stop making excuses or stop finding different reasons for why we can't make wellness a priority. Which brings us to the topic of today's episode. So, we are going to be talking about 10 reasons why you're struggling with your wellness journey or struggling on your wellness journey. Today, I'm going to cover 5 of those reasons. 5 of those reasons because I really want you to take some time to dive in to what I'm sharing, to really do some reflection for yourself on your wellness journey, and to really reflect or assess whether or not any of these apply to you and how you can begin making forward movement. Now, one thing I also want to point out is understanding that wellness is not just about fitness and nutrition, but wellness is really about how you're taking care of yourself as a whole, right? Every dimension of your wellness: mind, body, soul, and spirit. Now, there are other things that tie into the dimensions, but these four really contribute to all of the dimensions of wellness. And I'll do a whole nother episode talking about every dimension of wellness. But right now, I really want you to focus on mind, body, soul, and spirit. How you can make those things extremely healthy right now in order for you to achieve optimal wellness. All right? So, let's talk about, we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to talk about reason number 10. Reason number 10 for why you are stuck on your wellness journey is you're stuck in the past. Stuck in the past, thinking about what it used to be like, right? How you used to feel. Maybe how you used to look. Maybe thinking about a time in your life when things were going really well for you. You felt full in every dimension of your life: mind, body, soul, and spirit. And you're thinking, oh, I just want to be back there. Often when we get stuck in the past, it's so hard to move forward. It's so hard to move forward and learn new ways of doing things because we think that it's going to be that way again, right? But we have to keep in mind what has changed since that time. Maybe prior to the pandemic, or maybe when you were a lot younger, maybe before you had children, maybe before you were married, maybe before you were working a full-time job, or before you were a business owner, right? What are all the factors that contributed to you being in a really good place at that time? Maybe you had a lot less responsibilities. Maybe your whole life just totally looked different. So we have to factor in all the things that have changed and that has been added to our lives. And so when we think about the things that have been changed, I'm sorry if it's a little noisy. My heating system is so loud. Bear with me. So we have to think about what are the things that have been added to our lives? What has changed in our lives that contribute to where we are right now? And then how can we be present and stop living in the past, but learn how to be present, release the need for it to be the way it used to be, so that we can accept the way it is right now and learn how to live in the now. Learn how to accept who we are right now. Your mindset is different, right? Our bodies are different. Everything about us is different. We're getting older. We're learning new things. We're experiencing new things. Some hard things, some really amazing things, but we are experiencing new things on a regular basis. So we can't dwell on what it used to be like. In regards to, when I think about fitness, I know so many people will look at pictures of themselves from when they were maybe in high school, or when they were younger, before having children, before, just going through different things and hoping to look like that again. But we have to give our bodies grace, right? We have to give our bodies grace, especially if you're a mom. Us moms who have brought children into the world, and sometimes bringing children into the world changes your body. But you can't look at it as it's been a change for the worse. It's your mom body. It's your new body. How do we embrace that, right? How do we embrace that? And so how do you think about every dimension of your life in that way? Whether it's your mind, maybe now you have a lot more thoughts, a lot more things going through your mind. Well, maybe there was a point in your life where you didn't have to worry about certain things or think about certain things that you are having to think about now. So I just want you to take a moment to consider what has changed for you. When you think about a time in your life where you believe that everything was going really well, what has been added to your life that has changed, that makes things a little more challenging now? Not impossible, but a little more challenging. And then how do you give yourself grace? How do you release those thoughts of the past, or the thought that it should be that way, so that you can embrace your here and now, so that you can live in the present and move forward with creating the life you desire and you deserve with what you have right now. All right? So that is reason number 10. Stuck in the past. And I've experienced this. Let me tell you, I've had times, even before I got wiser on my wellness journey, I had times where I tried to fit really old clothes, or I tried to have these emotions that I had when I was a lot younger, when I was more carefree, when I was just out here living life, and understanding that I have to be a lot more responsible now. I'm a mom, I'm a role model. I have so many other things going on in my life that contribute to my here and now, that I can't stay thinking about, oh, I remember when things were so good, and when I didn't have to do this, and when I was like this, and when I could wear this, and when I could do this. Like, I had to let that go in order to have peace and grace for the woman I am today. And I love the woman I am today, because all of my past experiences have also contributed to the woman I am today. So I hope that you can also accept that into your life, that everything you have experienced in your past has contributed to the woman you are today and to the woman you are becoming. All right? Reason number 9. Comparison. I don't know about you, but I struggled with comparison for a long time in my life, more so because there were times where I believed that I wasn't where I should be, whether it was career-wise, relationship-wise, body-wise, money-wise, right? I just believe that I should be in this place, and I am just not moving at the right pace. And then I will look at other people and be like, wow, look at that person. Look at his life. Look at her life. Why can't I be more like them? Or why can't I look more like them? Why can't I have what they have? And then the moment I begin to think like that, I stop working on myself, because now I'm comparing myself and already told myself I can never be as good or great as this person I'm comparing myself to. Have you ever found yourself doing that? Have you ever found yourself looking at someone else, or watching TV, right? Like, we even do it to celebrities, people who have no idea who we are, but you just look at these people and say, wow, why can't I have that life? That should be me. I should look like that. I should have a husband, or I should be living my life and have children and be married and settled down by now. I should have more money than this. I should be much further along in my career. I should be more spiritual, and that person has an incredible spiritual connection. I don't have that. I'm not good enough. That's what we're telling ourselves. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, you're saying, I'm not good enough, I'm worthy. And then all of those negative thoughts begin to play in your mind. Your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions. And so you begin to live from that place of, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, because I believe someone else is better than me. What I realized on my journey is that we cannot compare ourselves to other people, because we have no idea how they started. We have no idea what they've gone through to be where they are, what their challenges have been, maybe some trauma, maybe their setbacks, whatever they have gone through to be where they are. We have no idea. And chances are we don't want what they've had to go through. I've had so many times in my life where people have said to me, wow, Carmen, I wish I could be more like you. And I'll say, trust me, you don't want these shoes. You don't want the struggles that I've had. You don't want to go through sexual abuse. You don't want to go through rape and domestic violence. You don't want to go through substance abuse, right? You don't want to go through having absolutely no confidence and treating yourself as if you're not worthy. You don't want to go through. I had to go through all of that to become the woman I am today. That's what I had to go through. And so when you think about when you're comparing yourself to someone, you don't know their start. Right? What I would suggest is when you look at someone who you believe is doing amazing, who is crushing your goals, let that be an inspiration. Let that person be someone who inspires you to stay on track with your own goals. And if you know that person personally, ask that person, hey, I would like to learn from you. How did you do it? What are some tips or some pointers you can give me? And most likely, people who are enlightened and who are happy to share and inspire will definitely support you on your journey to evolving and becoming the person you desire to be, right? The other thing that really gets into us is social media, the things that you're paying attention to, the people you're following on social media that make you want to compare yourself. What I suggest is if you're following someone on social media that you find yourself comparing yourself to a lot, that you feel icky about yourself, that you don't feel so great about yourself when you see that person on social media, please unfollow them. It doesn't make you a hater. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person. It doesn't mean that they're not a good person. But it's really about you respecting your peace and respecting yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you need. And so if that's a measure you need to take in order to respect yourself, respect your energy, to build your self-love, then that's what I highly recommend that you do. Also, get around people who encourage you. If you have friends that are doing wonderfully, you should be spending more time with those people, talking to those people, because those are the people that will inspire and encourage you. You should not be hanging with people that make you doubt yourself or that you have to compare yourself to, because that does not feel good. You definitely should not be around people that you feel like you're in competition with, because that also does not feel good. It has a negative impact on your confidence. It will definitely increase your self-doubt and lower your self-esteem. And so let's figure out, how do we release comparison? 1, shout yourself out. Make a brag bank of your dopeness, right? Like, you have amazing qualities of your own. And because you have amazing qualities of your own, you don't have to compare your qualities to someone else's, because we all have our own. So make a brag bank and review that brag bank on a regular basis. 2, do nice things for yourself. Take yourself out on dates every now and then to celebrate yourself. Right? Buy yourself flowers. Sing songs of affirmation over yourself. Right? Do all of these things that contribute to the woman you are, to the woman you're becoming. Don't be afraid to brag on yourself. I brag on myself all the time. I tell myself, girl, you bad. You're amazing. Because sometimes I get down too. Sometimes I feel like I should be doing more, but then I remind myself I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So I definitely want to encourage you to really think about those things and begin walking in it. Also, make self-care a priority. When you're taking care of yourself, it's like medicine. It magically transforms the way you think about yourself and the way you show up. Magically. So definitely make self-care a priority. All right? Number 8. Number 8 for why you are struggling on your wellness journey. Your excuses. Your excuses. Let me tell you this. As long as you're making room for your excuses will make room for your misery. Okay? As long as you're telling yourself, I can't because, the more miserable you will be. And you'll experience increase in your misery. So you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what are the excuses I'm making up? Excuses like, I don't have time. I don't know what to do. I don't have support. I'm tired. Right? I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. Oh my God. And the excuse, I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. The excuses go on and on and on for why we can't make our wellness a priority. Listen, you don't need money to meditate, right? You don't need money to pray or practice stillness or spend time in nature. You don't need money for that, right? You don't need money to take a walk every now and then to move your body. You don't, and I don't want to go too deep because, there are some other things that I'm going to share, but you don't need money for those things. You don't need money to make good decisions when you're eating. When you go grocery shopping, you're already spending money. Spend it on the right things. You don't need money for that. You don't need money to spend time with the right people. You don't need money to laugh, to have a good time, to tell yourself you're amazing. You don't need money for these things. If we're making time for all, and because y'all gonna make me go deep. If you're making time or spending money on things that don't necessarily align with your wellness, then I'm sorry, but your excuses are BS. So you have to ask yourself how important it is. Is it to you? Right? And you have to find a way to let go of those excuses. Let go of those excuses. Find something else to say. If you're saying, I don't have time, say to yourself, here's where I'm going to make time today. If you're saying, I don't have money, here's what I can do that does not require me to have money. If I don't have resources, I don't know exactly where to start, but here's what I do know. What can I do with what I do know? Right? You have to start where you are. If you've been on this earth longer than 10 years, and I'm going to say 10 years only because my son is 9 and the boy makes things happen. Okay, he makes his wellness a priority without me telling him. He checks sugar contents on juice or food labels. He exercises. He comes home and says, I'm going out for a ride on my bike. So listen, you have the wisdom. You have the wisdom. You have the resources. You have everything you need to make your wellness a priority. However, you're choosing not to. And so your excuses are making room for your misery. So how can you begin releasing those excuses? 1, sit down and think about what do you have. Let's stop thinking about what we don't have. Let's stop thinking about what's not present. What is present? When you write down every dimension of your wellness, mind, body, soul, and spirit, write down each one. Make a column for each one on a piece of paper, and then write down what is it, what do you have in your life? What is present for you right now that will allow you to make these things a priority? Allow you to practice activities that make these things a priority so that you can become healthier in these areas of your life. And then continue to focus on that. Focus on that. No more focusing on what's not there, what's not available, and what you don't have. No more of that. All right? Let's start there. And I will tell you this. The more you focus on what you do have, the more you will receive. That's how you manifest, right? Focus on what you do have. That's practicing gratitude. What do I have? And being thankful for it. And then owning it and walking in it. Okay? So that was number 8. Number 7. You don't trust the process. You don't trust the process. You want microwave effects. You want things to happen overnight. You want to try one time and then be like, all right, that didn't work. I give up. It's never going to work if you give up every time you get started and you don't see results in 2 days, right? You're impatient. But guess what? You're being impatient with yourself. You can't start something and do it once or twice and expect to see great results. You have to keep pushing. Even when it feels overwhelming, it feels frustrating, even when you're not seeing those immediate results, you have to keep pushing. Give it 2 months, give it 3 months. And then if it doesn't work after you've been trying for a while, you can document what worked and what didn't work on your journey, because trust me, you'll always be learning more about yourself when you're trying something new. What did you take away from it? That is what I want you to focus on. What did you learn on that journey? Even if it didn't reap the results you were hoping for, what did you learn about that journey? And then you can consider, maybe there are some tweaks I need to make. Maybe here's some things I can add or release from it. Maybe there's something else I can try. One thing I want you to remember is you're never starting over. Once you begin your wellness journey, and if something doesn't go right, you're never starting over. You are starting from experience. Because now you know what works and does not work for you. There's nothing greater than starting from experience. So let's keep that in mind, right? Stop giving up on yourself. Give it some time. Trust the process. You have to let go of the idea that you need a quick fix. You know, you have all these fads. Lose 20 pounds in 10 days, or wear these wraps and watch your belly fat melt, or do this. And these things are just gimmicks to get your money. What I say, don't try anything that you can't do long term. Anything that doesn't help you long term. If you lose 10 pounds in 5 days by drinking this tea, are you going to drink that tea for the rest of your life? Because the moment you say, okay, I'm done with this, everything you thought you lost comes back. So I really want you to think about, am I worth waiting for? Am I worth being patient for? Am I worth the process, the journey, the transformation? The consistency, the discipline. Am I worth that? Here's the thing, and something that I teach in Manifesting Love is all the things that we want from other people, the way we want people to treat us and love on us, we ask people to be patient with our growth, with our learning. We ask for consistency in our relationships with other people, especially in romantic relationships, right? We ask for consistency. We ask that people show up, that they trust us on the process, that they trust that we're going to show up. However, while we're looking for this outside of us, we never give it to ourselves. It's time to give it to yourself. It's time to give yourself everything you're looking for in anyone else, right? Trust the process. Trust the process. All right. Number 6. This is a big one. And this is something I struggled with for a long time. Information overload. Now, here's what I mean by information overload. You'll say, I'm ready to begin my wellness journey. Let me gather information. However, we will gather information and gather information and gather information, but never implement anything from the information we're gathering. We'll take notes, we'll read books, we'll listen to podcasts. Even some of you listening to me right now, we'll do all of these things, but we will never implement what we're learning and what we're gathering. You'll just keep gathering information. So then you go into information overload. Because what happens is you get so much information that you become overwhelmed and you don't even know where to start. And when you don't know where to start, you just don't start. Right? Because you're like, well, here it says I should do this, and here it says I should do this, and here it says I should do this. My question is, how many articles do you need to read? How many podcasts do you need to listen to? How many people do you need to talk to learn, to know that you need to drink more water? To know that you need to move your body more often than one day a week? To know that you need to go to bed at a reasonable time and rest? Right? To know that you need to practice wellness on a daily basis. To know that you need to eat healthier foods. To know that you need to find time for stillness. How many books do you need to read to know the things that your body is actually already telling you? Your body is already telling you, hey, I'm thirsty. Hey, I need to move. Hey, I am tired. Your body is already talking to you, but you're seeking validation in all of these resources. And even though some of these resources provide validation, you still have not made a move. You still haven't made a move because you are in information overload. So today I want to encourage you to step away from all that information you gathered and just take one step. One step that's going to contribute to you improving your health in order to achieve optimal wellness. Thank you for tuning in on this episode on the Walk in Power podcast. I hope you feel enlightened, ready to make your wellness a priority, got tools for your toolbox, and are feeling encouraged to walk in power. Don't forget to subscribe to catch every new episode, and please leave a review along with any topics you would like to hear me speak on. If you haven't done so already, please head over to my website at www.healwithcarmenb.com to check out the services I have to offer. And while you're visiting, be sure to subscribe to my mailing list to receive updates on new episodes and upcoming events because I don't want you to miss those. I've also created a Walk in Power Facebook community, and you're invited to join so we can continue these discussions. You can stay connected through Instagram at Heal with Carmen B and on Facebook at Healthy Energy Actively Living. Until next time, walk in power with love and gratitude. Carmen B.